Hi, I'm Paul Begley. What's going on in Saudi Arabia? Women are starting to protest? Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? In Muslim controlled monarchy of Saudi Arabia? Are we talking freedom? Besides the sound of freedom, good the taste of freedom for people and the taste of good coffee go hand in hand. You're not going to believe this, though. I just can't. I'm stunned by this information, but I'm pumped by it. Let's read it, okay? In Saudi Arabia, there were only a few dozen Saudi women at this protest demanding the release of prisoners they claim are unfairly linked to militants. This is the Associated Press. Yet, this small act of defiance is part of a wider question for the autocratic rulers in the Gulf who wonder if the ripples from the Egypt and the Tunisia protesting and overthrowing is it headed their way. It's too early to predict what or if any street demonstrations could rise across the region symbolized by its skyscraper and studded wealth, its super powerful sheiks and its monarchs and some of Washington's most important military footholds. But the failure to draw crowds at planned rallies in Syria last week underscores the protest fire from Tunisia and Egypt. Apparently, the protesting can be stamped out by these hardline state securities, which also a hallmark of the Muslim Gulf states. But there's no shortage of hints that the reform-seeking groups in the Gulf are trying to seize the moment. The rare protest rally in Saturday on Saudi's capital came a week after the Saudi activists launched a Facebook page demanding more jobs and political accountability in the world's biggest oil exporter of the world, Saudi Arabia. The people want a job. Can you imagine that? They want a voice in their futures. They don't want to live in a country where there's the few ruling class elites who make millions, and I mean millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, live as kings while the rest of the people scrape to get by. It's just not right. There's calls for social media sites also have gone out for protests next week in Bahrain and next month in Kuwait, the two Gulf nations with the most active and organized political oppositions that right now. So they're already reorganizing in Bahrain and Kuwait. Even the United Arab Emirates, with almost no public voice in decision making, is urging for a new faces on the 40-member government advisory panel in a bid to show a response to the upheavals that began back in December in Tunisia and currently going on right now in Egypt. There will be pressure coming to the Gulf for reforms on things like corruption, abuse of power, and a greater voice for civil society. And also, the Gulf Research Center in Dubai says what happened in Tunisia may make these ruling families somewhat more flexible to bend with the wind. You know what it is? It's the wind of freedom. It's the wind of freedom. It's God's given gift to humanity, the right to be free, the free will. You know, even in the Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve were there, living in a land of paradise that God set up for them, he put one tree in the garden, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And he said, you know what, you can eat all the fruit there is of everything here. You can have total dominion of all the animals and the fowls of the air and the fish of the sea. But don't touch that tree. Don't eat that fruit. Don't even touch it. For the day you do, you will die. You will start dying. And mankind's been dying ever since. But it was God's given right. God gave us a right to a free will. Well, the Muslim, it's so crazy, but the Muslims teach that they're a religion of peace and tranquility. The truth is, they're abusive. They keep their thumb on everybody. They're totally control freaks. The Sharia law thing that's spreading through the land to hold people down. And then what's worse than that is then you got the radical jihadists that's birthed from it, these radical clerics, these ministers of Mecca, these Muslim militants, these murderous mayhem ministers from Mecca who go around preaching jihad. What they've done is they've brought radical Islam to a new level of oppression, from oppressing the people of Islam to trying to oppress the people of the world. And it's just not going to, people just aren't going to stand for it. That's why they're rioting in Egypt right now. And they will overthrow Mubarak. There'll be more bloodshed, though. I'm telling you that right now. But I thank God for these women in Saudi Arabia standing up. I mean, I want to give you a picture right now of one of these women right on the streets of Saudi Arabia. Look at this. Standing up for what's right, standing up for freedom, standing up for hope. I pray for you. I pray for these women in Saudi Arabia. I pray for the people of Kuwait and Egypt and Tunisia, for the people in Jordan and Syria, all over the Middle East. I pray for them, for freedom. May the oppressors be overthrown. And more importantly, and listen, the gospel of Jesus Christ can hardly get into these places because of this religious blockage, because of this spirit of religion. If you're watching right now and you don't know Jesus Christ as your Savior, you got to understand what you're seeing happening. The fourth horseman of the apocalypse is galloping through the land. Dead birds, dead fish, dead cows, all of these are signs right out of the book of Hosea. We're coming to the second coming of Jesus Christ. If you're not saved, send me a personal message right now. Say, Brother Begley, I want to be saved. I want to be saved. I can see the signs of the time, and I want to become a Christian. And I'll pray with you. God bless you. And God bless the people of the Muslim countries that they find the freedom they deserve. I'm Paul Begley. Thank God for freedom.